Hello, my family and friends. It's time for a new yoga pose. Today we are going to feel like we're going to backtrack a little bit because we are going to cover mountain pose a little bit again, which we did much earlier in these videos that I'm doing. And we're going to go from the mountain pose to the volcano or upright salute pose. You stay in the mountain pose except when you go into the volcano pose, except your arms go up in the air and your whole body stays in mountain pose except your arms are up in the air. So I want you to start realizing that if you mindfully and thoughtfully think out your alignment in each pose, then your successive poses will be thoughtfully and mindfully executed as well. That's kind of why we practice yoga. That's why it's called practice. And each successive pose is as good or better than the previous pose. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about the volcano or upright salute pose. Lots of benefits. It's a rejuvenating pose. It is a wake-up pose. It fights fatigue. It's a great tool for anxiety, which a lot of us are feeling today. And it also has some great physical benefits. It stretches your thighs. It builds strength in your core. And because you're holding your arms up, it increases the lengthening of your body, which helps with your digestion. It increases your heart rate. It doesn't make your heart race, but it increases your heart rate, which is really good because you're probably going to go on to a core yoga class, and you want that heart pumping that blood, right? It helps with your shoulders and your lats. And by staying in the mountain upright salute pose, you are really working on helping that spine stay very aligned. It's very good practice for deeper twists, for back bends, for inversions, for balance poses. Oh, I've probably scared you all off now. No. It is good for preparation for those more intense poses. So, a few cautions. If you feel unstable, especially if you're pregnant and you feel unstable, when we get into the mountain pose, open your feet a little bit. Increase the stance between your feet. At one point, I'm going to tell you to gaze slightly up at your hands. If you're somebody who feels a little dizzy or unstable, don't do that. Gaze straight ahead. Shoulder people. You probably won't be able to raise your hands very much, but I want you to talk to your physical therapists and your doctors and see how you can start building your shoulders back up so that you can raise your arms above your head. Okay, I'm going to move this over. And we're going to go to the mat and get into our mountain pose. Oh, Miss Chloe has found a new napping place, and she decided to skip class today. Okay, here we are. I hope you can all hear me. Got to take off my flip-flops. And I'm going to get back here. Like I said, if you're a person who feels unstable, you can open up your stance. A wider stance, a bigger base will help you feel more stable. But I'm going to keep my feet pretty close together. Okay, here we go. Starting from our feet, we're going to root down with all 4 points of the feet down to the ground, and the ground is going to reach up and grab us as well. Our energy is going to come up through our legs. Don't hyperextend those knees, keep them soft, but the energy will come up. You might feel like you want to roll your thighs in a little bit and to build up a little bit more energy. I haven't talked about that before. You can do that. Bring your energy up into your pelvis. Suck that belly button back into your spine. Tuck that tush under a little bit. And here goes the energy. Up into our ribs and into our chest. Let's open up our arms and turn our palms up so our chest will open up. And you know, another thing about opening up your chest like this is it's really good for lung issues. If you have asthma or hay fever, or if you've had a cold, this opens up your chest and relieves some of those symptoms. Shoulders are down. Let's put our arms down. Shoulders are down. You really have to push those down. You're going to lengthen your neck so that your ear and your shoulder have the widest distance between them. Chin is parallel to the floor. Head is being pulled up by an invisible string to the sky so that your head is over your heart, is over your pelvis. Arms relaxed at the side, palms open. This is as perfect of a mountain pose as I can get up today, and I'm sure you are practicing the same thing. You don't have to do it. You won't be perfect in all your poses the very first time. That's why it's called yoga practice. You have to practice to get perfect. But if you are like this, then your next pose that we are going to go into will also be mindful and thoughtful. So let's take our hands for a moment and place them on our belly. Let's do some belly breathing for a minute. I'm going to count to 3 and I want you to inhale. You will feel your hands coming out. Then I'm going to count to 6 and you're going to exhale and your tummy is going to go in. You're going to sink. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hands back down to your sides and relax. Now we are going to raise. We are going to take our arms and we are going to pull them out to the sides and we're going to go straight overhead. I want you to try to make them as straight as possible with your wrist in line with your legs. I want this part of your arms to be as close to your ears as possible. And I want your shoulders pushing down. There you go. Breathe in, breathe out. You will probably be asked to breathe in and breathe out several times. Now, your fingers are stretching up to the sky. Feel them stretching up. And if you don't have dizzy problems, slightly gaze up to your sky. You might not want to do this if you have neck problems either. Look up at those fingers, reaching for the heavens. There they are. Woo! All right, come back down. Are your arms feeling a little bit tired? Well, we'll modify what we do with them, okay? Let's bring them down to a cactus where your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Nice little rest. And then back up. There they go. Back down into cactus. Keep your shoulders down. I'm pushing them down. Back up. Now, if they're really tired, you can bring them all the way down and rest them for a moment. And when you're ready, go back up. This will build your strength up because you do have to build strength up in your arms to keep them up for any length of time. All right. Modifications. Remember I told you that if you're feeling wobbly, get a bigger base and put your feet apart. But you may want to sit in a chair, and that's okay too. I caution you, if you want to sit in a chair and do mountain and upright salute in a chair, don't sit and sink. You want to maintain your head over your heart, over your pelvis. It's really important. And it's really easy to sit and sink. Sit on the edge of the chair. That will help remind you of keeping your torso up. When you do that, your knees have to be 90 degrees from the floor, and your sit bones are actually what's rooting you down. Not your feet anymore, your sit bones. And from there, you build your energy up. Let's go back up. All right. We did our cactus arms. Now there's a couple other challenges that we can do. If you can't keep your arms straight, you can grab a strap or a belt, and you can hold it in front of you. And instead of reaching your arms out like that, you can go up, straight up with a belt. That will help you straighten your arms out. You can also have your arms up and widen them. That will straighten your arms out. With your goal in mind though is both times is to bring in, with every practice, bring in your arms so that eventually they are straight up. You don't want to be like this all the time. You want them to be straight up. Another thing is, if you are feeling tired or unstable, you can do all of this against a wall with your heels, your butt, and your shoulders against the wall. And you can practice your mountain and your upright salute against a wall. Now to get out of this, you can just bring your arms down like I've been doing, or more often you will go into a forward fold with a swan dive. Okay? Most classes you'll do that. Because this pose, mountain and upright salute, are usually done during your warm-up session because they're rejuvenating. You won't do this at the end of your practice, and you probably won't do much of it in the middle of your practice. This you will do at the beginning of your practice. I have two more modifications that I'd like to show you, and they're not modifications, they're challenges. They're offshoots of the volcano pose, upright salute. I like to call it volcano. Some people call it upright salute. I usually call it volcano. You may be asked to grab a wrist and to bend over, like a lateral flexion. This is a variation of lateral flexion. Pretend the moon is right here, and you are reaching over the moon, over the moon, over it. You're not gonna go like that, you're gonna go over the moon. And you bend totally from the side so that you're really getting a nice stretch in the side of your body here. Oh, this really is a good one. Then you come back up, and you've got two sides. So the moon has jumped over me, and the moon's over here now. There we go. Ah, you can really feel that side stretching out. That's a great feeling. If you're able to, you can put your hands up to the top. And if you are straight, if your arms are straight, put your palms together in prayer position. Interlock your fingers and slightly go back, real slightly. Great preparation for back bends. Great prep for back bends. There you go. Now the common misalignments in this pose, in the volcano pose, are that you do not maintain your head over your heart, over your pelvis, that you do not maintain your neutral spine, your mountain pose from your head to your feet. That's your biggest challenge. Also, shoulders coming up. It's real easy to be turtlenecking through this pose. It's also easy not to be bringing your arms straight up. You really want to get this alignment going. And for a while, it may take some practicing. Practice makes perfect. So bring your arms up. There you go. Now.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Uh-oh. My music did something really weird. It talked to me. I want you to think about this. All your progress that you do through yoga has it places you outside of your comfort zone. So that's why I wanted to introduce the mountain pose with the volcano pose, because they're integrated together, but it takes practice to get them together. Thank you for joining me today. Really happy to see all of you. I hope you enjoy the wonderful weather we're having. See you next time. Namaste. Bye-bye.